The hum of the starship Aurora Vanguard was unusually tense that morning. Captain Darren Voss, a seasoned human navigator of the Orion Expanse, was already buried in star charts when a sudden tug at his sleeve jolted him upright. Before he could even blink, his assistant, a slender, blue-skinned alien with eyes like molten silver, had yanked at his uniform with surprising strength. The fabric tore with a loud rip, leaving Darren staring at a gaping hole across his chest. What are you doing?" Darren exclaimed, clutching the remnants of his shirt. The alien, named Zyra, stood with her arms crossed, her eyes gleaming with a peculiar mix of mischief and expectation. "You promised me a reward for completing the calibration," she said, her voice melodic but firm. "I want it, now." Darren blinked. Zyra, though his assistant for nearly 6 months, had never been so audacious. She was of the Volari species, renowned for their strength and unusual customs. Darren had heard rumors that Volari rewards were not always conventional, but he had assumed they were metaphorical, not literal. "Zyra, this isn't how we handle agreements," he said cautiously, trying to smooth the torn fabric back together. "We can discuss it after we finish today's missions." Zyra's silver eyes narrowed. "No, Captain. Agreements are serious. You will honor yours immediately." Her voice was sharp now, tinged with a commanding tone that made even seasoned crew members shift uneasily. Darren sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. The Aurora Vanguard was a fast response vessel, tasked with defending the outer colonies from alien threats and rogue factions. He did not need a confrontation with his assistant, especially one that might escalate into a diplomatic incident if observed by other alien allies on the ship. But Zyra wasn't just any assistant, she was a crucial part of the crew, and her skills in navigation, security, and alien diplomacy were unmatched. "Fine," Darren muttered under his breath. "Fine, tell me what you want." Zyra's lips curled into a sly smile. "Not a tell. A demonstration." She stepped closer, her hands glowing faintly with the bioenergy that Volari could channel. "You will see." Before Darren could react, the lights flickered and alarms echoed through the ship. A nearby asteroid field had shifted unexpectedly, sending debris hurtling toward the Aurora Vanguard. Darren's instincts kicked in immediately. He grabbed the control console, issuing commands to adjust the shields and maneuver the ship around the dangerous rocks. Zyra moved with him, her energy pulsating as she manipulated the ship's auxiliary thrusters with precision. Together, they avoided the largest of the debris, but one massive shard slammed into the hull near the engineering bay. Sparks flew, and alarms screamed as oxygen levels dropped slightly in the affected section. "Captain!" Zyra shouted, her voice urgent. "We need to seal that breach immediately." Darren nodded, gripping the control panel. "On it. Get the damage reports." He turned to the communications panel, contacting the engineering crew. "Jalen. Seal the hull breach. Now." Zyra didn't wait for him to finish. With a sudden burst of strength, she ripped open a maintenance hatch and leapt into the engineering bay. Her movements were fluid, almost dancing, as she repaired the hull using her bioenergy to fuse metal plates together. Sparks flew, but the repairs held. Within moments, the oxygen levels stabilized, and the ship hummed back to normal. Darren watched, astonished. That was incredible, Zyra." He realized, with some embarrassment, that her reward demand had unintentionally saved them from disaster. Zyra straightened, brushing off her uniform, now slightly glowing from the energy she had exerted. "I told you, Captain. Promises must be kept. And now, my reward." Darren swallowed hard. He had no idea what form this reward would take, but judging by her earlier actions, it might be unconventional. Zyra's eyes glinted with anticipation. "Captain," she said softly, stepping closer, "sometimes, the reward is recognition. But sometimes, it is something more." Her gaze held him, unblinking, and Darren felt a strange warmth despite the chaos of the past minutes. "Zyra," he began, unsure, but she held up a hand. "Trust me. It will be brief, but it must be immediate." Before he could protest, Zyra's bioenergy flared again, this time creating a small, floating holographic display between them. Images of the ship's missions, their victories, and moments of shared risk flickered in midair. "Look," she said. "Every life saved, every star navigated, every crisis avoided, these are our shared achievements. And my reward is to acknowledge them, together." Darren blinked at the display, then at Zyra. A realization dawned. The Valari concept of reward was not material, it was recognition, shared respect, and trust. By demanding her reward immediately, Zyra had forced him to confront the bond they had formed, to recognize her contributions, and to truly value her as a partner, not just an assistant. He nodded slowly, a smile forming despite the torn shirt. "You're right. You've earned this, and so much more." Zyra's silver eyes softened. "Thank you, Captain. That is enough." She stepped back, her energy dimming to a soft glow. "Now, let us finish today's missions. There are more stars to explore." Darren laughed, the tension finally easing from his shoulders. "Lead the way, Zyra. But maybe, next time, less shirt-tearing?" Zyra tilted her head, amused. "Perhaps. But then again, Captain, where would the excitement be?" As they moved toward the bridge together, Darren couldn't help but think how unpredictable life aboard a starship could be, and how vital it was to have someone like Zyra by his side. In the vast emptiness of space, danger was constant, but so was the bond they shared. And sometimes, even a ripped shirt could lead to unexpected revelations and stronger partnerships. The day continued with new challenges, asteroid surveys, alien communication trials, and engine calibrations, but Darren faced each task with renewed respect for Zyra's abilities. By the time the sun rose over the Orion Nebula, he knew two things for certain: the universe was vast and unpredictable, and having a Valari assistant who demanded her reward immediately was a blessing he could not afford to underestimate. That evening, as the ship drifted silently among the stars, Darren finally repaired his shirt with careful hands, smiling at the memory of Zyra's insistence. He realized that in a universe filled with danger, excitement, and alien customs, it wasn't the stars alone that made life extraordinary, it was the companions who challenged, surprised, and supported you through it all. And somewhere, in the quiet glow of the Aurora Vanguard, Zyra's eyes sparkled knowingly. The reward had been claimed, and the bond forged would guide them through countless adventures yet to come.